How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video, and today we're going to be covering buff stacking. Now, to save you guys a little bit of time if you don't want to watch the video, it's very simple. When it comes to food buffs, you can stack as many buffs as you want as long as they do not share the same type of stat. As for magazines, chems, and bobbleheads, you can only have one of each active at the same time. So you can have as many food buffs as you want with one chem, one magazine, and one bobblehead. But if you're more of a visual learner, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to start things off, here is my effects page. We have nothing active when it comes down to food buffs, magazines, or bobbleheads. And what we're going to be doing first is working with our food buffs to kind of show you guys what I mean by you can stack as many food buffs as long as they do not share the same type of stat. So here we have a bunch of carnivore foods. Now you can also do this with herbivore if that is something you choose. Carnivore and herbivore are different types of mutations that increase the benefits of the buffs that you use for that specific mutation. Now to show you guys, here is an awesome possum bacon that gives us +2 luck. If we go down into our stats, we'll be able to see it there under our food category. Now we're going to go ahead and go back to our food and take an apple chili or apollo chili, however you pronounce it, and this also gives an additional luck. But since they share the same type of benefit, one is replaced, and that's what happens when you take two of the same buff. But since we had all that food already cooked up, we're going to go ahead and take everything. Now there's actually going to be a couple foods here that will disappear because they ended up sharing the same kind of benefits from whatever was taken first. So if you look at all of these buffs, you'll see a lot of different stacks: luck, rad resistance, max HP, +3 intelligence. Anything that says restore HP but doesn't have any additional information, that means something has replaced it. But we have our disease resist, max AP, energy resistance, agility, strength, endurance, reduced hunger, damage resistance in fog and rain, carry weight, damage resistance, all these buffs. And yes, all of it is actually being applied to our character, and that is basically how food buff stacking works. Now for magazines, bobbleheads, and chems, as mentioned earlier in the video, you can have one of each active at the same time. So you can have one bobblehead, one magazine, and one chem. You cannot stack multiple of each. So just to kind of show you, we'll take our big guns bobblehead here, and then we're going to go ahead and take an energies bobble. And when we swap back to our stats, you're going to see that the heavy guns is now gone and been replaced with the energy weapons. And this will happen for both chems and magazines. So we're going to go ahead, scroll down, we'll take an overdrive real fast. And then we're going to show you guys that it's there. Swap back, take a medics, and it has been replaced. And we'll go ahead and do this with magazines. We're going to swap over, take a Grognax 3, show you guys that it's there. Swap on over to our magazines again, take a 7, and then it has been replaced. Now for those who are curious about the damage buffs, well, you have a variety of different kinds, but just to show you that they all stack depending on what you're trying to run, we'll show it here. So if you're running a crit build, you could take a sweet mud fruit tea, which is my preference, or a blight soup, any choice of crit buffs that you want, and you can also take a black-eyed Susan Soothin. You can use them both because they share different types of damage buffs. One's crit and one is just damage, and they do stack. Now, let's say that you're running a melee build instead. You can take a glowing meat steak or whatever % melee buff that you want with a black-eyed Susan Soothin as well to further increase your damage. Can you stack bobbleheads, magazines, and chems with food or drink buffs? The answer to that is yes, even if they share the same type of buff. For example, this Tesla Science 8 has a crit damage buff. We have our sweet mud fruit tea, which also gives crit damage, but just to show you, we have our Tesla 8 there. We'll scroll down, and there is our sweet mud fruit tea, still active with our 100% additional crit. What if I wanted to use a food and drink that share the same stat? Since one is food and one is drink, would I be able to? The answer to that, unfortunately, is no, because food and drinks are shared in the same kind of category. So if you look, we have a black-eyed Susan Soothin, which gives me % experience. Now I have this cranberry relish here, which also gives me % experience. One is a drink and one is a food. But just like when we take our food, if it shares the same stats, whatever is taken last will be added. So since we took that cranberry relish, our 20% bonus experience has overwritten the percent experience from the black-eyed Susan Soothin. Just a little tip and trick for anyone who uses a Soothin or percent EXP buff. Always take your Soothins first, because just like you saw right there, it removed the lower percentage with the higher percentage of your food buff. If you take it in the reverse, you will lose your high experience buff and replace it with the Soothins buff, which is a lot lower. So keep that in mind for future reference, just in case. But that about covers it. If you guys found the information useful or the video helpful in any way, please be sure to subscribe, like, and let me know in the comments. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know as well. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. As always, thank you so much for watching. Happy hunting, good luck, and I'll see you guys in the next one.